I'm checking mine. Oh,
It's all
good.
Or
Yeah.
welcome back, everybody. Joe Everest to Those Arc Fence.
Sarah Everest with her fence.
We don't rehearse anything. We just go for it.
We ad-lib everything.
Welcome to Yippee Ki Yay. It's Ask a Fence Girl Friday.
I like it. Oh, you
Do we
added the
do-
Friday.
I thought about
I
that
don't
last
hate it.
second.
I don't hate it. I think you just go with it. Whatever feels natural. You
That's
just
right.
go
That's
with it.
right. No structure. Just be honest with yourself with what
Yep.
you want to say.
I like it. Yeah.
Big fan of that around here.
Yeah. No green screen and
That's right.
what do they call it? Teleprompters.
Teleprompters. No teleprompting here.
Not a bad idea though.
No.
Okay.
I'm saying no.
You're right. No.
I
Okay.
thought about it for 0.32 seconds, and that's a no. That's a no-go.
Got it. No teleprompter.
What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy
Yes.
Dry Friday.
Yes. Holy moly.
Guys, I don't mean to brag, but this is the second day in a row of sunny weather. It's a work day.
Stop it. So there's going to be a
Come in.
cloud that rolls in.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But it's noon. The wood guys are they're on the downward stretch.
That's true.
Today.
Yeah.
So they get started pretty early. They get in about 5:30, get everything loaded up. So they are early birds for sure.
Yep.
Because we're getting into summer.
Yeah.
The idea being they want to get their work in ahead of the heat of the day.
Yep.
Can't blame them for that.
No.
Anyway, guys, I saw an interesting statistic. Say that word a few times.
Okay.
I can't. The other day, so in the Southwest Missouri, so in Springfield, Southwest Missouri, our area, in the last 2 months, we've had 5 work days with no rain.
Crazy.
5 work days with no rain.
That is crazy.
Let that sink in. A lot of rain, guys. A lot of rain. So this is kind of piggybacks on last week's conversation. Oh, first and foremost, you made it back
I'm back. I'm alive.
in one piece.
Yep.
You didn't get trampled by runaway cows or anything.
No, not a single one.
Okay.
Knock on wood real quick too.
Yeah. How were the
Yeah.
chuck wagons?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay.
It was awesome. Big stuff going on, but we had a good time.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Small talk out of the way. But this follows up with our conversation last week in that had a lot of rain. So we're getting further behind. We do build a flex day into our schedule each week, Wednesday. Those of you that watch know. The problem is weeks like this week where Monday was a holiday kind of takes your flex day out of the week.
Yeah.
So playing catch up, your flex day's gone. It has been real.
And it rained.
And it rained.
Yeah,
It
a
rained
lot.
again. So please keep that in mind,
Yep.
is what we're saying. We know this happens every year. Every year that we have wet springs is the first sunny day, the phone calls start coming in.
Yep.
Say, hey, you guys are supposed to be here. It's a sunny day. Why aren't you here?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we have multiple projects, and we're pretty big fans of finishing projects in the order they were started.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
No leapfrogs, no switcheroos, unless warranted. Sometimes switcheroos are warranted. The customer says, hey, you set the post, but I'd rather you not come back and finish it till things dry up a little bit.
Yeah.
Therefore, switcheroo is engaged.
I like it.
But if barring anything like that, no switcheroos,
Nope.
no leapfrogs, what other words are there for it?
Audibles.
No audibles.
Yeah.
For sure. Unless the audible is called by the client.
Or Peyton Manning. He's audible.
Everybody say goodbye to Sarah. She's leaving. Because we all know when we're talking about football greatness, the only acceptable answer is Mr. Patrick Mahomes.
Oh. But no, he's active. At least Peyton
Yes.
Manning's retired. So they can
About
still, I don't know. It's like 60 by now, I think.
Good grief. I mean, he was okay when he was playing, but come on.
Pretty
Mr. Patrick.
Mr. Patrick
Mahomes.
Got it.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's the only acceptable football answer here at Ozark Fence.
Got it.
Unless you talk to this guy we got named Denver.
Oh, yeah.
The reason he's named Denver, well, that's not his real name. That's his nickname. He's on the Wood Crew. And Scott, who's the crew chief of the Wood Crew, he is the nickname
Super fan.
Ninja.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
he's
like
a super fan.
He's a super fan of the Chiefs.
Diehard Chiefs fan, which
Big fan.
I can get behind.
Sure.
I really,
Lots of football talk.
we
football
should-
season.
lots of football. And a fair amount of football talk in the offseason.
That's true.
So we should start. We're going to bring it up. We're going to come back around to a similar subject here in a minute.
Okay.
But we should bring this up when doing interviews.
I think he did the last time.
Is that allowed?
The last time he asked, that was one of his last questions.
If we had HR, we should probably ask HR about that.
Yeah.
Can we
I think
ask
what
about
I-
football
what I'm
team
saying.
allegiance?
Let's ask HR. What do you think about asking football? If it's
Uh,
a football team, then it's acceptable.
yeah, as long as it's not an exclusion.
Okay, as long as we don't make a decision based on that.
Right,
So
yeah,
we have
right. As long as
information.
there's no exclusion based on answer. But as HR, you should definitely let that be known prior to asking the
It should be
question.
in the qualifications in the job description.
No,
Oh,
not in the
no,
qualification because
okay.
we're not requiring it.
Oh, it's just like a.
But before that question
you
gets
can say
asked,
preferred. That happens a lot in
okay,
job applications.
preferred but not required. It needs to be not required.
Yeah, okay.
But before you ask the question, you need to say, this question, the answer to this question will not influence our decision of your employment.
We'll just have to make sure Scott cannot weigh in on it. Because
Scott
he
is
will
not-
absolutely make that.
Scott
Part
is
of his
not allowed to
system,
talk
his
at
point
all
system.
during this question.
Yeah.
He is not allowed to talk.
Okay.
He will be 100% Chiefs.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
it.
so it appears.
All right, we just heard back from HR.
HR says as long as we don't make it an exclusion.
Right.
We're
We can
okay.
ask the question, but we can't make a decision based on the answer.
Correct. Well, it's kind of
That's
like,
it. Answer from HR.
like the gender and like that sort of thing. You know, like you can ask it, but like you can't make a decision based on that.
I'm not even asking it.
Okay. Okay.
No way.
You're just having it just they fill it
Don't
out,
care.
and then you don't talk
They
about
don't
it.
even fill it out.
No, I'm saying the team.
Oh, the team.
Yeah. The
Oh,
team.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
treating it like one of those questions. that you
Okay.
see a lot.
Okay. And they can be given the option not to answer.
Yes, you can say I'm not comfortable giving you my sports team.
A non-answer is acceptable.
Yes.
But we would prefer the answer be Chiefs.
Well, I don't think that we should limit it.
No,
to
that's
football,
we probably shouldn't say that.
because I know that you guys all talk football, and we need to
Yeah.
find a crew chief that
Yeah.
likes baseball. We're gonna have to work on that one.
Truth.
Yeah.
Truth.
Because
He
if-
likes baseball. He just likes the wrong team.
Oh, he likes Royals. Yeah. I
Who
mean,
Royals
that's good.
fan? Him and like 5 other people in the world. Royals fans.
The only 5. Okay. Anyway, we're making
Big sports
revisions
channel today.
to our HR policy.
Our hiring
Yep.
process. No, it's not part of the process though. Our hiring questions. Our
Okay.
interview questions.
Our interview questions.
It is not. It's not part of the hiring process.
Yes. No
HR was
decision-based.
very clear on that.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say hi to some folks.
All right.
Taylor, excuse me. Taylor says, "Hey,
Hey.
hey."
But she's saying like, hey.
Oh,
Oh.
did I age myself? And I went, "Hey, do you
Yeah.
know what that is?"
I mean, like it's like hang loose, isn't it? Hey.
No, there's this movie called Grease.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
And
where
that-
they
it
do
wa-
like the.
I think that was
Yeah.
Grease. Actually, I'm questioning myself on if that was Grease or not.
I can't
I'm
see
pretty
John
sure.
Travolta do
I think it was though, because I'm picturing a leather jacket and hey,
Okay.
If you guys know what in the world I'm talking about, let me know in the comments below.
Okay.
Reba,
Oh, Reba.
welcome,
Welcome back.
welcome.
Yes. we're
Good,
happy to have
wonderful,
you.
beautiful afternoon,
Oh, I like that.
Sarah,
Sarah. I like it.
Sarah, and Joe.
Yep.
Good,
Hi,
wonderful, beautiful afternoon,
That is the truth. It is gorgeous out there right now.
guys. Let's just pause and say how much I appreciate our cheerleaders in the chat.
Yes. Love it.
Between Reba and Brent,
Yeah.
Mitch.
Yeah.
Because Brent always tells
That's
us
true.
we're beautiful.
That's true.
He says hello, beautiful people.
Hello,
Has he said it yet?
No, not yet.
No, he's not on yet.
Not yet.
But when he gets on, we'll know it because
Yeah.
he'll say, "Good
Oh,
morning, beautiful people,"
Yep.
or "Hello, beautiful." He'll say something.
Yeah.
But he will call us beautiful.
Oh, that's true.
Reba,
Big ego
Welcome.
boosters. Thank you.
appreciate you
Hello, Reba.
for keeping the mood high. Raymond,
Raymond,
hello.
hello.
Welcome, Raymond. Welcome back,
Yes,
Raymond.
welcome back. I
Welcome
just
back,
saw
welcome
on.
back, welcome back.
You can't sing that. It's
Oh.
an infringement.
Oh, we probably just got
Yeah.
strike for that.
I just saw on the kitchen table that Raymond is making a trip here for the wedding. Super stoked. He sent it, I think, maybe in the mail. He said, "So excited. We are excited to have you too."
Raymond, I'm
Wait.
excited to meet you in person.
Yes, it's gonna be
I'm
awesome.
super excited. You're going to need to come say hello because I only know you by the name that's here.
Yeah.
And the picture is really small, so I can't see the picture.
And I actually just happened to go through, Tracy had her wedding book.
Okay.
And Uncle Ray was at our wedding. And there's some backflips. So can't wait to see that one, Ray. Can't wait. I know it's been a few years, but I think you still got it. Can't wait.
Raymond, I cannot tell you how excited I am to see backflips.
Yeah, so practice now. Start practicing now. Can't wait to see it.
Get to practicing. Now, no one else will be doing backflips, myself especially.
Yeah.
But I will be cheering you on just as much as you cheer us on in the chat.
That's
Bet.
right. Ooh.
Hey, that's another one. Bet.
Bet.
That's what the cool kids say. We're figuring out cool kid
that
talk.
Was like 6 months ago. I don't think it's anymore.
You don't say bet anymore?
I don't think so.
Scratch it from the cool kid code.
Sorry.
It's out. So says Sarah. But is she in on the cool kid code? Is she up to date? I don't know. It could still be in there. We need a spy. We need a cool kid code spy.
Yeah.
I've tried to recruit Macy, my daughter. Not about it. She is actually like actively trying to prevent us from figuring out cool kid code.
Yeah.
And I told her, like, Macy, I'm just trying to be a cool dad. Trying to be cool dad, you know? She's like, and she literally said, Dad, stop. Rolled her eyes and walked away.
We see where her loyalties lie.
I was like,
wow.
Sheesh.
So TJ, who you're gonna disown here in just a second.
I just saw it.
Yeah. He figured out the new kid slang.
Okay.
So he comes in this morning and he says, "You gotta go find the dogs." And I said, "Did we lose them?" And he's like, "No, they're just outside somewhere." I said, "Okay." He goes, I yeeted them out the back door.
Yeet. That's right. That is the thing.
I was like,
yeeted them right out of here.
He goes, did I use that correctly? I said, you could not use that correctly ever again. Like, what?
No, that was the correct usage. Yeet them.
Do you know there's a gun called the Yeet Cannon? Yeah, I
The
found
Yeet
that
Cannon.
out by one of my deputy friends. Yeah.
We're going to need to look that up. Oh, were you finding out about it because it was not quite legal?
No.
In that case, we will not be looking it up.
No, you can
Okay,
look it up.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You can look it up.
So I saw what could be called, TJ will appreciate this, even though we're getting ready to disown him. It was a yeet cannon for fishing. It was called the yeet cannon. So what it is think what do we call those? Spud cannons,
like the
potato guns.
Yeah.
But with compressed air. Like when I was getting out of potato cannons or spud rockets, whatever, they were just starting to use compressed air.
Okay.
See, I'm going to date myself here, but
Did you have to pump it?
No.
Shotgun?
No. You just hooked it up to an air compressor.
No, I know. I'm saying, did you have to?
No. Ours were far more sophisticated. See, what we would do, you would, this might not, I don't know that we're supposed to talk about this because I think this might not be great. Theoretically, hypothetically, if one were to, then they would put the potato in first. So you got small chamber, big chamber, launching chamber, combustion chamber. The potato goes all the way in. The back has an access hatch that a flammable combustible would be sprayed into, i.e., the rain one, white rain. There's a rain.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
I see the
smells awful. You spray it in there, and then theoretically, hypothetically, if one were to do this, you would have two screws drilled in there, like yay apart. Think spark plug. And then you would hook them up to a barbecue lighter, like a barbecue.
Like one of those big wick lighter things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Like a barbecue grill lighter where you press it and it sparks.
Oh. Yeah.
So then that would combust it, and you would blow that potato to the next county.
Okay.
Hypothetically, theoretically, if one were to do this, I have heard before of people doing them like this. The problem, hypothetically, theoretically, somebody figured this out, was you try clicking it and it doesn't combust because you need the correct air fuel ratio and there's not enough air. We figured this out those people figured this out later. Theoretically, hypothetically, this didn't actually happen.
Mhm.
When they pull the access hatch off, and then air does mix with the combustion,
Oh.
and then you press it,
Yeah.
your combustion chamber blows up. Well, it
Oh.
blows a flame out your access hatch, and if you're looking in at it, it singes your eyebrows.
This is baked potato.
It does smell like baked potatoes when you launch one of those things. Theoretically, hypothetically, I heard it once before.
Yeah,
Sure. It does smell like baked potatoes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Good to know.
Dangerous though. Like
Yeah,
this
do
was
not
not
do this. Do not try this at home.
me being serious. Don't like I don't know theoretically, hypothetically how these things didn't blow up. They should have probably anyway. But when hypothetically, theoretically, when these people are getting out of potato guns, compressed air was becoming the thing where you just fill the combustion chamber up with just compressed air, released it, potato goes. Not nearly as cool. So theoretically, hypothetically, when you were using hairspray though at night, you could see a flame erupt out of this tube, and it made a thump, like a loud thump.
Yeah, a potato was not totally baked for sure.
No, but one side of it definitely was. Like it anyway. So
I'm understanding now why people say like having girls is a lot safer. Because I never in my life would think of doing this ever. Ever.
Well, neither did I. This is all theoretical and hypothetical, and I've heard it once from a guy.
Yeah, read it on Reddit.
On Reddit, actually. Read it on Reddit. That's absolutely correct. Anyway, okay, getting back to this yeet cannon. So it's an air chamber full of compressed air, and then you put, I don't know what launches this thing, but it's like what did he call it? Like I don't know what he called it. It's chum.
Oh, okay.
So he's fishing in the ocean.
Like sea fishing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he packs it all in here, looks like a cannon. He had a rod where he's packing it, and then he opens the spool on his rod, releases the air, and it launches this chum cloud and bait way out.
Okay.
It yeeted that bait. So, anyway, real long story to talk about yeet cannons.
All right.
Sorry, Raymond, I left your name up there. Raymond does not support or endorse any sort of theoretical, hypothetical anything, actually.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. I'm sorry. This is my fault. All right, this is where TJ leaves the family. No comment. Raymond says, receive my stain and seal. Love the product. Thanks for the recommendation.
Yeah.
Very welcome.
I sent
Very welcome.
one of our brochures on the stain and seal.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
I'm curious what color you got, Raymond. I want to know.
Yeah. Yep. So Stain and Seal Experts is the brand of fin stain, deck stain, wood stain that we use. Yep. And we like it a whole lot. We pre-stain. We stain on site.
Yep.
We're figuring the process out. So we were pre-staining everything. The problem is gray has become a very popular color.
Very popular. Very popular.
Problem with gray is you have to after you run gray, you have to completely stop the dipping. Drain the tank. Obviously, we drain the tank between colors, but drain the tank, and then you have to completely clean every speck of gray out of this, or else it's going to contaminate your browns. Most of the other colors, whether we're talking about chestnut, pecan, walnut, whatever, are brown based.
Yeah.
Would that be fair? Well, walnut, I guess. Walnut might be an exception. Yeah. But the majority of the colors, 90% of the colors, are brown based. So if you get some contamination from one to the other, usually, now we're talking about in terms of 50 to 60 gallons. Right. So if you have a quarter of a gallon left in the tank, you add in 60 gallons. Overall, it's not going to affect the color.
Right.
You leave a quarter gallon of gray, and then you try to add in anything else, I could see that being disaster. We haven't messed with it because I see that being a very big problem. So anyway, if we pre-stain gray, we got to shut everything down, scrub everything down. It's a process.
Yep.
So from henceforth, how do you like that word? Henceforth. I read that in a book once. Gray will be stained on site.
Yep.
Same warranty, same everything.
Yep.
Stained on site. And then all of the brown tones. So we offer three main right? We're talking about adding a fourth, but
Yep.
right now, cedar, chestnut, walnut
Yep.
are kind of our light, medium, dark colors. We're talking about adding a fourth in there because
Yeah.
we've been
Nice
asked for
variety.
a little bit more variety. So we're trying to debate which fourth color would be the best addition to that.
Yeah.
But gray will be done on site. The other four will be done pre-deck.
Yep.
So
I like it.
sure. Steven says, I would love to see Joe and Sarah go through a local haunted attraction this fall. That is a very specific request.
You know, we do have one that comes and buys materials from us.
Well, Steven has one.
Steven, oh.
That's where this very specific request is coming from.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Steven, I'm sorry, but we do sell stuff to one of your competitors.
Yeah.
We are an equal access fence supplier.
Sure. We are.
We'll sell. I mean,
To be
I would
honest,
say
it
anybody,
was-
but like any, within. We're not selling to somebody crazy.
And it wasn't really necessarily for the haunted attraction itself. It was for the building.
It's for the
because-
building and vandals.
Yes. And
Vandals kept trying to break into the building.
yes, and climbed like the top of it. And it was a whole
I don't know if we
ordeal.
can say which one it is, but I think we're all pretty sure
Yeah.
we know which
We
one
might
it
take
is.
those guesses.
There's a building involved,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
vandals were breaking into the building. So
Yes.
anyway,
I'm not opposed to going to a local haunted attraction.
so Stevens is down. It's the Stevens gonna kill me. It's completely spaced. I want to say it's down by Summers, but I don't think that's right. Steven, I'm so sorry.
Oh, like
He
the
has-
forest one? Is it a maze?
Yeah, it's more like a maze. Steven,
Well,
which
the
what is yes.
Okay, so it is by Summers.
Okay,
Field of
yes.
Screams says, yeah.
Okay. I thought I was more confused there than I was, but yes, you're right. It's Field of Screams
Okay.
by Summers the River. That's right.
Okay.
Spend a day. But yeah,
Awesome.
we should go.
As long as Steven's okay with me going through it like this. That's how I like watch like haunted, like if I watch like horror movies.
Are you
Because then I can go like
protecting your
this.
eyeballs?
Yeah, because then you can just go like this. And you want to see it. It's the whole thing. I don't know,
This
it's the thing.
is what. So this to this is faster than closing your eyes.
It's another protective barrier.
Okay. So, and if I'm ruining this for anyone, I am so sorry.
Okay.
The chainsaws aren't real.
You say that. They sound very real.
Oh well, yeah, they're real,
I'm not
but they
saying,
don't
like-
have like chains. You know what I mean? Like they're not legally. I don't think they can chop anybody up.
No,
Like that
legally,
would be
no one
a
is allowed
very
to do that.
big PR nightmare.
Yeah, that's just a blanket statement. No one is allowed to chop people off or chop people up.
I feel like there's a meeting prior to any of these haunted attractions opening.
Yeah.
Ground rules.
No.
Still not allowed to chop
anybody.
anybody up, people.
Not allowed.
Steven, that means you.
I'm curious like
This
how
is like a
that's
meeting where
selling.
Steven's in the back, and I'm going, Steven, this means you.
We
Every
can't-
every year in the suggestion box, chop people up. We still can't do it.
Let's not repeat 2017, Steven. All right.
I wasn't even going to say it, but Sarah brought it up. So, no chopping people up.
Got it. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Steven, we would love to come.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
Raymond says can't wait. Probably for the wedding. I think we're catching up with
Yeah.
wedding talk here.
Although, if he's here in time, like in the Field of Screams is open, why not? Come with us.
You know what? I bet it will be.
Oh.
Hey, Steven, when is Fields of Screams open? Field of
Field of-
Screams. It's not multiple fields. It's one. It might be multiple fields. The name is Field of Screams. When does it open? Inquiring minds would like to know, because we might want to take Raymond.
Corrected herself. Love it.
I kind of like Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah has a ring to it.
Sure.
We're gonna try it out here at the office.
Great.
We're gonna see if we can get Sarah to stick.
Thanks a lot, Reba.
Oh man,
No backflips. All right. No
Raymond
backflips,
says no
boy.
backflips. Okay,
Fine.
for now that's the answer.
Yeah. We'll see how he
Maybe
feels
we
after
can talk
he,
Raymond into some backflips
after
day
he
of.
visits like the beverage trough a couple times. We'll see. We'll see, Uncle Ray. We'll see.
Okay, I am looking forward to backflips. Uh oh. Reba theoretically, hypothetically knows someone that has a potato gun. Reba. Steph, what is up?
Steph, welcome.
What is? I ask this every week, Steph, and I'm so sorry. Is it customer service rockstar?
Yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah, I was just making sure.
Yep.
Customer service rockstar.
Yep.
Welcome,
There
Steph.
she is.
Ashley says jumping on late to say hello.
Ashley.
You're not late. You're not late. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here for another half an hour.
That's
You're here
good.
just in time.
Just in
Because
time.
we were talking with Raymond
Yes.
about stainless steel experts.
Yep.
We
Or
just
sustain.
Sarah sent Raymond some stainless steel literature.
Yep.
Did Raymond get the stainless steel?
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
There you go, Ashley.
Love
So
it.
Raymond and Ashley meet each other. Ashley is one of the owners. Her and her husband own stainless steel experts.
Yep.
There you go.
Love
Connecting dots. We love it. We love it. We love it. Stevie White. Hello, Joe. Sarah.
Yeah.
You need to meet Stevie.
Do I?
Yes.
Okay.
Stevie and his dad David.
Yep.
From the UK. D&J
Okay.
Projects.
Very cool. I see.
He's son.
Okay.
You got father and son. He's son.
Son?
Stevie.
Okay.
And he does work that is not too shabby. That's his phrase, and I love it so
I
much.
like that. That's
Sarah,
awesome.
we have a new term.
Okay.
Okay. Sarah, what are the top 3 reasons people buy a fence? Go.
All right. We've got the pets,
Yep.
kids, and neighbors.
Maybe bad neighbors.
Well, I was just
Okay,
saying neighbors.
neighbors. So we talked about, I watched Stevie and David's video, D&J Project. If you guys are on YouTube, let me see. Let me see how many people are watching us on YouTube right now. None. All of them are on Facebook. Okay. Well, if you guys are on YouTube, check out D&J Projects, David and Stevie. So David's the father, Stevie's the son.
Okay.
Father-son duo that build fence out of the UK.
Cool. I love it.
Incredible content. I like them a lot. You guys should go watch them. They had a customer who had a neighbor.
Okay. Yep. One of those.
That neighbor.
Yep.
And everyone knows which neighbor I'm talking about.
Yep.
Stevie has an incredible term for that neighbor.
Okay.
Sergeant Major.
Sergeant Major. Okay.
Bossing everybody around. It needs to be
Oh.
this way. It needs to be done like this. And Sergeant Major.
Yep.
New code word in
I
this
like that.
office. Thank you, Stevie, for the new
Yeah.
code word.
I like that.
D&J Projects, guys, check them out. I watch their content a lot, and if you like watching fencing content as much as I do, which we all know everybody does, D&J Projects. They do other stuff too. They do other cool stuff too. They do like a little bit of everything. So they do decks, they do hardscape, landscape. So hardscapes, which is part of landscape. I don't want to say hardscape, landscape, and you think it's landscapes. It's not. It's hardscape,
Okay.
like pavers.
Okay.
So Sunday's video, they do videos on Sunday and Wednesday. So we're anxiously awaiting Sunday's video. Sunday's video, they had these paver stone or Stevie, I apologize, I forget the term you guys use for them, but pavers, big pavers, yellow,
Oh,
like
the long yellow.
like the long yellow. But Stevie's not going to understand that reference. A friend of ours owns a plumbing company that everything's yellow. Cars are yellow,
Yep.
shirts are yellow.
Shoes
Tell
yellow.
me if this idea sounds familiar. Everything's yellow, but these tiles were like lemon yellow,
Okay.
bright, and they looked
Very cool.
awesome.
That's awesome. I'll have to check it out.
Welcome, Stevie. I appreciate you tuning in.
Okay.
Appreciate it. What time? Let's play the game. What time is it there? It's 6:30 in the evening. Thank you for joining us in your evening time, Stevie. All right, let's see. I knew what he was going to say.
Hi, Brent.
Brent, how are you, good sir? We knew. So Reba, Brent, let me just show you. Reba and Brent right now are our top chat cheerleaders.
Yeah.
That's a term from now on. So Reba said, good, wonderful, beautiful afternoon. So Brent and Reba are our top chat cheerleaders.
I like it.
Hello, Brent. Good afternoon, Brent. Is it?
Yeah.
Nope. It is morning where Brent is. It's
Yeah.
still morning there.
So,
Good morning, Brent. Almost good afternoon, but not quite yet.
Yep.
James
Hi,
Moles.
James. Welcome.
Hey, James. How are you?
Thanks for joining
Appreciate you joining us. Steven says, really enjoyed hanging out with you guys for a bit. You are awesome. Appreciate the mention and appreciate what you all do for the Ozarks.
us. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're all just doing our bit, Stephen. It's so. It sounded like Stephen was bouncing out. Maybe not. So Stephen also is part of. I saw this big announcement. He got a promotion. They also do garage coatings. So he's part of a company that does the cool like epoxy coatings on the floor.
Oh, that's neat.
Very
Those
neat.
look really cool.
Yep.
I've seen, yeah. Recently.
So congratulations on your promotion, Stephen.
Yeah, awesome.
And I'm sorry you hit your head. So there was a picture on Facebook that on the company page where they said they finally had a picture of him hitting his head on something. I guess he hits his head on a lot of stuff. And there's a picture of just like conking himself right in the back of the head. That had to hurt. And I'm sorry that happened, Stephen. James Mills has a question.
All right,
I have a fence
question today.
We're only half an hour in. We've already got our first fence question.
Thank you, James.
That's how you say that. I have a fence I'm planning to build, and I just need 4x4 posts, but 2 foot in the ground, 4 foot above, no concrete, and I have all the materials. How much per post will you charge? So it's probably not a project we would take on. So our process is, our process is to complete the project start to finish.
Right.
So provide the material, provide the labor, install, dig, set, and all that. We're actually not. We haven't been using wood post in a little bit, offering wood post in quite a bit. So we use steel posts exclusively. They're called Postmasters. So wood posts we'd be out on anyway, just because it's not part of our process. So getting our guys to, use a process that's outside of their day to day might not lead to the best experience for everybody.
Right.
So. Great question, though, James. I appreciate you tuning in.
We do get that from time to time, so it's great.
We do.
Happy you brought that up.
Yep, absolutely. It's a common question for sure.
All right.
Field of Screams, grand opening, September 24th at our Nixa location.
Raymond will be here.
Stephen, we're bringing a whole bunch of wedding people. Well, probably not the day of the wedding.
We feel like it's kind of like my reception there. Field of Screams.
Wedding reception at Field of Screams.
We'll be like, go to the reception. Here's the address. And then show up and it's just Field of Screams.
And then you come running out of the woods with a chainsaw. Yes.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, they got me. Oh.
You know what? My wedding is October 2nd. So I'm going to have this wedding dress. So, Stephen, if you need a zombie bride later in the month, you let me know. I'm your gal.
You might want to save the wedding dress, though. You might want to get an alternate dress that gets ripped up.
Okay. Oh, I can do that.
Because zombie dresses are like really trashed.
That's true.
Because they're zombies now. They've been going through
they've been through a lot.
They've been through a lot. Yeah. So, and usually the dresses come out looking not great, not great. But, Stephen, we're bringing a bunch of wedding people. It's not the day of the wedding, but we'll bring a bunch of people that are in town for the wedding. Yeah. Field of Screams. That's going to happen. Raymond says, gotta go. You guys have a great week. Sarah, say hello to TJ for me.
I sure will.
Very well.
Thank you.
And Raymond, I will say hello to TJ also when I see him tomorrow.
Okay.
Because Sarah's going to forget. But I will tell him that Uncle Ray said hello.
Yes.
Is that right, Uncle Ray?
Yep.
Okay, got it. Nailed it. Jackson says, that's my daddy.
Where?
To me.
Oh.
To me. What's so? Not to you. That would be silly.
I have a lot of
Jackson, my man, what is up? How was your day? I'm going to come see you here in just a little bit. That's right. That's right. I'm taking off early. Okay. Doesn't happen a lot. But today is Taylor and I's wedding anniversary. So, Taylor, happy anniversary publicly. We said it this morning, but I'm saying it again. Happy anniversary. So, we are doing a weekend getaway for our anniversary. Also, last week was Taylor's birthday. So, it's an anniversary birthday extravaganza. You're coming. Yep. TJ's coming. We got a whole bunch of people coming. I don't mean to exclude anybody. If I didn't say your name, I'm sorry. If you're watching this and you're like, hey, I'm going to, I get it. Just the people that are watching don't know who you guys are. Yeah. So, maybe this adds intrigue. Maybe it is like a very elite list of people that cannot be named. Yeah, there's like privacy agreements in place.
Yeah.
What are those NDRs? Non-disclosure or NDAs. Yeah. Non-disclosure agreements could be in place. We're not saying if they are or if they aren't. We're just leaving it out there. What is up, Jackson? Brent says, I saw your interview last Friday with them, or maybe it was Saturday. Can't remember. It was Saturday.
That's awesome.
I got to sit down and chat with David and Stevie. I enjoyed it so much. Like I really legitimately did. It's interesting to talk to guys in the same line of work, the same profession, half a world away. Not half a world, I get it, but you get the point. A
Yeah.
long way. So they're based out of Nottingham in the UK.
Oh,
I
cool.
didn't ask them about the Nottingham Forest.
Well,
There is a Nottingham
Next
Forest. There is a so. Follow-up question coming on the next interview because I talked to David and Stevie and they said they'd love to come on again on a
Awesome.
semi-regular basis. I
Very
can't
cool.
wait to have them back. So
yeah, that's awesome.
one of those questions is going to be, tell me about the Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
And Stevie, I get it. So we get questions about stuff around here and you're probably like,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, it's a bunch of trees called Nottingham. Like, I get it. Everyone asks. Like, no, I don't know where Robin Hood is. So it's like,
Right.
come on. Gosh.
Yep.
Devin, hello. Long time no see. I agree, Devin. It's been, Devin, how long has it been? It's been probably a couple of years, I bet, since I have seen Devin.
That's awesome.
Jake Bell, welcome.
Jake.
Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us.
James, you're very welcome.
Absolutely. Thanks for the question.
Jake's got a great question. Are you having issues getting materials, Western Red, treated lumber, etc.? So, yeah.
Short answer, absolutely.
It's not that we're having a hard time getting it. It's the lead times involved.
Correct. Yeah, that's true.
So we can order it. It's just a little bit longer for it to get to us. We got in another truckload of lumber. I think currently, don't quote me on this, we've got about 45 to 50 bundles of Western Red Cedar on the lot right now. We don't actually inventory treated pine. If anybody that knows treated pine knows exactly why we don't inventory it. It's because if it sits on your lot for more than like a day and you go to unband it, it all starts spelling, it all turns into letters, C's and S's and all the rest. So, what else? Chain link we can get. Some of the chain link takes a little bit longer, and sometimes it's weird. Like it's stuff. I say weird stuff. It's stuff that should be super common. They're like, oh, it's like a 6-week lead time.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That's common stuff. Anyway.
The other one's been 4-foot pickets. 6-foot
Yeah.
pickets we have.
Okay, you're right.
4-foot pickets for whatever reason are just a little.
Yeah, 1x4 before Western Red Cedar. We put an order. What did they say lead time? 4 or 5 weeks on that or something.
Like that, yeah.
So, and it's not crazy. I think was it a couple bundles or something like that, 3 bundles maybe. So small order, but yeah, it's going to be 4, 5, 6 weeks to get one before Western Red Cedar in.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they got 30,000 1 by 6 by 6, 1 by 5.5 by 6 Western Red Cedar in Kansas City. So it's like, well, could you cut some of those down?
Right.
And the answer is no.
The answer is you won't.
That sounds ridiculous, Joe, and you are being unreasonable. Yeah,
like,
we'll sell them to you as 6-footers, and
That's so
you
silly.
cut them down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, great question. So, so you asked about wood specifically, Jake. Let's talk about vinyl right now. You can have any color and any style of vinyl you want, as long as it's 6 foot tall and it's white.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are doing a 4-foot picket.
That's true.
It was a
That's
smaller
true.
run. It's like 40 feet, and they just happen to have it installed.
Yeah, that is the exception, not the rule.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, but you're right. 6 foot white, no problem.
No problem at all. They got it for you.
You know,
you want 5 foot privacy with a foot of lattice? Well, you are being ridiculous, and that is outlandish. And you will get it in 20 to 30 weeks.
Yeah.
That's not a real quote, but you get it.
Only want like 3 or 4 posts and a couple caps and that sort of thing, that's fine. But you want the panels? Nope.
Nope, no panels.
Sorry about you.
So, and like, don't even get into wood grain. Like wood grain brown, wood grain gray, not even a chance. It's just not available. So, we're also getting into this on aluminum. So, standard items, 4 foot tall, flat top, you can get it fairly, I don't want to say easily, it's more readily available.
Yeah.
But we're getting ready to do here in a few weeks a 6 foot tall aluminum municipal grade. And it took, I think that was like a 6 or 7 week lead time.
Yeah.
So, no, that's not right.
I'm not saying that's not bad for that.
No. Yeah.
It's been a while.
I need to go check. Yeah. I want to say it was 8 or 9 weeks. Anyway, it was a bit. So, it depends on what material we're talking about. Western Red Cedar seems to be available in certain sizes, but the lead time is what gets you.
Yep.
Jackson says, Daddy, I love you. Jackson, I love you too, buddy. Jackson's like in a really sweet age right now. No, he wants to tickle you. Right? Jackson wants to tickle Sarah.
Probably got a sticker for me. Big sticker guy here lately.
He is very big into stickers. You're right. Jake says, do you think it'll get better or worse in the near future?
I think
Isn't that the billion-dollar question?
I think it'll get worse before it gets better.
That's probably accurate. If and again, like this answer is probably different depending on what type of material we're talking about.
Yeah.
We watch wood most closely just because wood is most of what we do on the residential side. Now, our dad watches chain link like a hawk because chain link is the majority of what we do on commercial.
Yeah.
So, but when we're talking about wood, the folks I've talked to, so we're going to have a special guest. We're going to have Tony Thornton on the Joe Everest YouTube channel here in a few weeks. We're going to talk about the state of the industry and try to answer this question. But a sneak peek, a teaser, if you will, is basically, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But expect some sort of pullback fourth quarter this year to first quarter next year is what the current thinking is. But that means we're talking November, December, January, February, right? So those 4 months are an incredibly long way off. So now I understand.
What do you mean by pullback?
I understand fourth quarter is October, November, December, but the quote I heard was November, December, January, February. Just in terms of pricing.
To
see pricing come down somewhere closer to where it was before.
Gotcha.
Now, I think we all need to be clear that we are not getting back to pre-pandemic pricing.
No.
I think we all just need to accept that. Now,
just like everything else, a new normal.
Right, that's right. I have not seen 99-cent gas since I was a kid. Right? It goes up, it pulls back. It goes up, it pulls back. But it always seems to pull back a little bit higher than it was before. It's going to be the same thing. We need to start thinking of wood as a commodity. I mean, there's literally the lumber commodity. We need to think of our wood materials as commodities, our chain link as a steel commodity, right, or aluminum commodity, depending on what we're talking about. And commodities do come back to their new normal, right? But they don't ever come back to the old normal.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be looking at that. So this winter, I think we'll see a price reduction. So we're already starting to see demand slacken in wood products. I say we as if like I'm in the middle of this conversation. The people I talk to are starting to see demand slacken for wood products.
Yeah.
So we're seeing it here locally. Wood starting to stack up at the home stores. Not necessarily wood for fencing, but wood products in general.
Yes, lumber in general. 6
months ago, you take a stroll through Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, and the lumber section's a ghost town. Yeah. Whether you're talking about plywood, whether you're talking about studs, whether you're talking whatever, it's a ghost town. So we're starting to see wood products fill the shelves again. And so Home Depot, our interstate drives right behind a Home Depot, so you kind of see what they've got behind the store, and they're starting to really stack lumber up, behind the store. So wood products are starting to stack up. So guys, this is what we've been taught about supply and demand, right? So supply was tight, demand was high, the price goes through the roof. Well, as demand slackens, supply increases, price normalizes. And I think normalizes is a relative term, though.
Right.
Right. We're not talking about pre-pandemic normal. Like, I really think those days are gone. Now, I would love to be wrong about that. I would absolutely love to be proven wrong. I hope I am. But I think when we're making plans for how we're going to finish out the year, how we're going to start next year, I think we need to plan on them being less expensive than they are today, but more expensive than they were last year. Yeah. Yes. And, plan for the worst, hope for the best. Yeah. You know what I mean? If we make a plan, if we make budgets based on expensive materials and then they're less expensive, I got some good news for you. Yeah. Budget looks great. It allows us to lower our prices to our customers. It allows us to increase production. Win-win for everybody. So Jake is on the fence company side, right? He's on the ownership side, the contractor side. It's also a win for the customers.
Right.
I mean, we start to see prices come down. I mean, customers love that. I mean, we love to offer. That's always something that's boggled my mind when you see homeowners, and not necessarily about fencing, but just complain about contractors in general about the prices they're charging. I would love to charge less money for a fence.
Right.
It would mean that our guys had more work to do. It would mean that our customers were happier. That is a win-win for everybody. But we can't do that and perform at a loss, or else we won't be building fence next year. We'll have to go find something new to do. So anyway, I think it's a win-win for everyone. I think first part of next year starts out lower than we are today, which is good for everybody. But we'll see. That's the thing is when you look at the lumber's future market, it did pull back, but it's still three times where it was a year ago.
Yeah.
So it averaged $300 to $400. I haven't seen where lumber closed yesterday, but it was hovering around like the $1,100-1,200 mark. Better than $1,600. I get it. So it is a pullback, but it's still $1,100 to $1,200 as compared to $400 a year ago.
Right.
So
and no one knows the consistency of that either. Like, is it going to raise back up? Is it not? I don't know. We'll see.
Right, and I think it's important to note too that that's just a generic marker, right? That's just a generic lumber commodity. So that's not Western red cedar fence pickets.
Right.
So, but I think it does give us an indication though of where we can expect to see the Western red cedar fence picket market be.
Yep.
It seems to reason that one would follow the other.
Yeah, no, I agree. Makes sense.
So, big economic show. And to lighten things up a little bit, Jackson's tickling the phone. All right, there you go. All right, guys, if you got more fence questions, drop in the comments below. I love talking about fence, so I like this a lot.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
You know what I just realized?
What?
This is the Ask the Fence Gal, and I haven't been doing much asking lately.
That's all right.
Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You guys came here expecting to see me ask her questions, and I haven't. So, but know that I realize that. I have just now realized that. And I'm still talking. I need to figure out how to say this in the form of a question.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, yeah.
I hear... Oh, not
Every
this
time.
game again.
Okay.
And we're back. I said the S word. I shouldn't have said the S word. Well, I said Sarah. But sometimes my pronunciation isn't the clearest. For example, there's a YouTube video where I said Australia, and most everyone thought I said Austria.
Austria. Yeah,
They're like, oh. I can't even do an Australian accent. They're like, oh, this bloke doesn't even know the difference between Australia and Austria. Like, we are not Austria. Like, as an American, I'm pretty familiar with, the countries involved in World War II. I get it. So I know you are not Austria. Australia. Yep. Australia.
Yeah.
Not Austria.
Pronounce a little bit better next time.
There's an L in there.
Yeah.
From now on, I'm calling Australia with an L.
Yeah. Like it. I
don't know where I was going with that, but pronunciations. Oh, okay. Hey, Fence Gal.
Yep.
That we
That's
can
me.
do it that way so that the computer doesn't pick that up and think I'm saying a different one. Tell me about adding to our team. We're adding to our team.
Yeah, you're adding to our team. So it has been.
Can I interest you in this piece of paper? Sorry, I should have screwed that over.
Earlier. Yes. So we're always striving to be better. And like my big thing is just like customer experience, right? And like I want to be able to,
because you are the customer experience officer.
Yeah,
CXO. CXO. X is the millennial E.
I just like where it's not backwards.
Like this. That's how it is. This way. I gotta get it straight. It is X no matter front and back. CXO. Please continue.
Regardless, with the level of, just projects that we had, I don't feel like I'm always gonna be harder on myself than anyone is on me, right? So I'm just like, we can always do better, right? We can always strive to be better. And the biggest thing that would be helpful is just to have someone just organize all the things. So when you start any kind of project, right, you have the expectations, you have your, maps of and all the measurements of each project. And so From there, you're determining what materials are included and all of that. Sometimes you have to order those materials, and there's a lot of steps that go into it. So we have to order materials, we have to track those materials, we have to do permits. That's been another big thing that we've started here in the last 6 months, is where we take on the responsibility of permits, which is fine. It's not overall not a big feat, but there's often a lot of questions asked by each municipality. So we want to take that off of the customer's hands, just because a lot of times those questions really need to be directed to us anyway.
Sure.
So that's been something that I've taken on as well. So we do the permits, then we do the Missouri locates, and a lot of times those guys will call and ask questions, which is great. But there's just a lot of communication that goes on.
Sure.
And a lot of times we're putting up a fence for someone that probably has never had a fence, or if they have, it's been a long time.
Sure.
So there are a lot of questions involved. And we always try to answer all the questions up front, but inevitably, I do my best thinking when I'm not talking to someone, right? And I'm like,
Sure.
I forgot to ask them this. So from there, kind of we order all the materials, all of that, and then I also go out and put flags and check for utility locates that Friday before. I do a final walkthrough with the customer. We send out contracts. There's just a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. And I don't want anything to slip through the cracks. And inevitably, the busier you are, the higher the potential for that to happen.
Sure.
And that's something that I just don't want to happen. So we've kind of been talking about having someone that's just kind of behind the scenes and just another point of contact for those customers, where I may be out on a job site, but I want them to be able to get their questions answered in an efficient manner.
Sure.
So what we've talked about is kind of hiring on a project coordinator.
Yep.
To where I still act as the project manager. I'm still seeing everything through, and I'm still available if customers have questions, by all means.
Yep.
But it's someone that's helping with all of the tasks that just kind of add up, right? So
Sure.
they're going to take over. In a perfect world, they're going to kind of take over some of the behind the scenes stuff, such as like the permits, your locates, that sort of thing, where it doesn't necessarily require the project manager to do that, but it still needs to be done.
Yeah, and some behind the scenes work as to just helping, enter information into the CRM.
Right. Yeah.
Making sure the layouts in there, the photos are in there, the stuff that you have. It's just it takes time to get all of that stuff into one location.
Right. Yeah.
But we've created processes for it, so it's not difficult. It's simply following the process, but that process takes time.
Right.
So someone that can also help manage that process behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, and especially with the material ordering and that sort of thing. I mean, right now we've got probably 3 or 4 ornamental projects in the works, which is totally fine. But it's nice to have an extra set of eyes and ears on every project.
Yep.
That's what I'm excited about. Just having someone to, when a customer does call, they can be called back in an hour with an answer.
Yep.
Like, that's extremely important to me.
Well, one of the things we had talked about, and guys understand this is fluid. This is very fluid right now. But one of the things we talked about is like a weekly check-in with vendors that we have materials on order with.
Right.
Hey, just checking in. Want to make sure there's no bubbles, no troubles. Are we still thinking of receiving? Not trying to nail anyone down to an answer, but are we still thinking 8 weeks?
Right.
Okay. And then then an email gets sent off. Hey, just spoke with the vendor. They're still looking at 8 weeks. This is your weekly update on the materials. They're still on order, still shooting for 8 weeks from delivery, which should still put us in this ballpark. Now, things can change, that sort of thing, but just keeping the lines of communication open.
Right. Yeah. Just streamlining that communication with the customer. That's kind of where I see that, and just acting, like another set of eyes and ears for our crews in the field, that sort of thing. And I mean, each time that we do permits for all of these different cities, and we have to physically go get them too. So that's another ordeal where it's not a big deal. It's not a hard task, but it's just more time out of the day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and it seems like every municipality is a little bit different in how they want it done and what they want to see and all that.
What the requirements are, that sort of thing. Yep.
So if we had one point of contact that had, the procedures for each community and said, okay, well, in Ozark, I know I need this, 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 and this.
Right.
Here's how, someone to be in charge of that process as well.
Well, a lot of times just documenting what we do as well, because I'm not the best at that. It's in my head, and I just do it. So it'd be nice to have someone that can be like, what? Let me document everything that we do, every step that we do. So that way we have a clear-cut process that we do on every single project. And that, while we have that in our own heads, it would be nice just to have that on paper, too. Just so as we do expand, it's always the same process. It's always the same great customer experience every time. And no one is ever getting a different experience.
Yep. And just one more point of contact. Because as you said in the beginning, your day is incredibly hectic, right? You could be doing an on-site, measurement confirmation, and then you could be doing, just on and on.
Estimate. Yeah.
Yep. Then you're doing a few phone consultations, and then next thing you know, your day's gone.
Yeah.
It's 6 o'clock in the evening, and you're saying, I should have been out of here half an hour ago, whatever.
Yep.
So if there's someone else that can field the communication, that can compile a list of questions that you need to address, right away, and then they can follow up with the customer. It's quicker follow-up, it's more consistent follow-up, that sort of thing. And it doesn't take away from, the experience that we're already providing.
Right.
If anything, our goal is to enhance the experience.
Yep, absolutely.
So
I'm really excited.
Yep. And like you said, you would still hold responsibility for the project management itself.
Yep.
Because ultimately, as you said, you are held responsible for the client experience.
Right.
And so that's just part of that.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Just really another point of contact. That's the biggest thing.
Yep. So if you guys out there know anyone in the Springfield area that graded attention to detail, clear and concise communication, we'll be posting the what do you call it on Indeed? The job posting on Indeed.
Yep.
So check out Indeed. Search Ozark Fence. We'll be on there. The job posting will be on there. So the job posting will be live here in the next little bit. Yeah, for 2 weeks. Just because. So let's segue into another thing. So this is the last Ask a Fence Gal Friday for the next couple weeks. Next week, Wednesday, we're leaving. We're heading up to Waverly, Nebraska. Everyone wants to know where's Waverly, Nebraska. Right next to Lincoln, right outside Lincoln, Nebraska, for the fence installation school put on by the American Fence Association. We'll learn all sorts of stuff about tips and tricks from other fencing professionals. We're taking Scott with us, our crew chief. Also, and I haven't talked to you about this, so a little bit of a surprise on the show. So Matt Warner, who owns Elite Fence and Net, I had messaged him and said, hey, could we grab a half hour of your time because I'm talking to him about we're adding this position. What does that growth look like? This is a guy in a company that's seen that growth and been through it. So we're gonna bend Matt's ear a little bit.
Very cool.
He's been very gracious to say awesome. I will make time. So
very nice. That's awesome.
That's happening. And then Friday, so that's Wednesday, Thursday training, Friday training. Friday, right after training, you and Scott are jumping back in the truck and hot-footing it back because Saturday you've got a wedding to attend.
That's true.
One of our guys is getting hitched on Saturday. So you guys are going to hot-foot it back for that.
Yep.
And then, but you're leaving me there.
Yeah.
Because Saturday I'm jumping on an aeroplane and I'm flying to Savannah, Georgia. We're going to take a family vacation to Savannah. Actually, Taylor and the kids are flying ahead of me. They're going to fly out Tuesday. You're going to spend some time out there. So Taylor's sister's oldest son is graduating. So they're going to get to go to the graduation.
That's
awesome. I'm going to be there hopefully in time for the graduation party the next day on Saturday. So,
awesome.
And then we'll be gone for a week. We're going to tour Savannah.
I like
see all that Savannah has to offer, except for we're not going to get to see the Savannah bananas. I've been trying to get tickets. No tickets. Nope. And so I met the guy that owns the Savannah Bananas a couple years, probably 3 years ago now, at a social media marketing world. And we're still connected on Facebook. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, But then I'm going to be that guy that's like, hey, remember me? We met one time on an aircraft carrier 3 years ago, and you said to get a hold of you if I ever needed anything.
Hey, I need something.
How about them tickets, though?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to be that guy. So we're not going to see the Savannah Bananas, but we are going to see all that Savannah has to offer.
Well, and while you're there, you might look and see like the Craigslist, like that kind of stuff. People sell their, if they can't go one night.
That's a good call. Yeah. Hadn't even thought about that.
There you go.
But say all that to say, Ask a Fence Gal or Yippee Ki Yay. It's Ask a Fence Gal Friday. Will be postponed for the next couple weeks.
Okay.
Until we get back, and then we'll have it again. And then you've got another event.
I do.
We can't keep her away from these chuck wagon races, people.
It's true.
She's going to another one.
That one will have way better service. That one's only about an hour away from here.
Okay. We'll have an on-site reporter
Yes.
it's called Baker Spain.
Yes.
Is that people that put it on, or?
Yes, those are the last names of the two families that help put it on. Yeah.
Gotcha. Baker Spain. So you're going to be reporting live.
Yeah.
Will we see wandering cows like we did last time?
I don't know. I don't know what time the actual races are.
Okay.
But no, we shouldn't, because I think the races start at 1. And
okay. We should be done by then.
We may have to start early, depending on.
Okay. Oh, so will we see warm-ups?
No, they don't really do warm-ups.
They don't do warm-ups? They just go for it?
Yeah, they'll drive their horses around, but they won't go up towards the track. I'll probably be in the tent doing it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we might have to do it early because there's a chance that I might be partaking in these shenanigans.
Participating. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
we'll see.
You could hear it here first, folks.
Yeah.
But no, we'll schedule it like normal.
Yep.
So I'll wait for you to let me know, and then we'll get it scheduled. That way, you guys can set a reminder for it, and you'll know when we go live.
Excited.
All right. Fence Gal, I'm training a new sales lady. Do you guys have a specific process for training?
We do. So we have I'm really big on screenshots and that sort of thing. So of course, like when we talked about this position, they'll act as kind of they'll shadow me to see what the sales process is, so that they can better understand kind of what their role will be on kind of like the baton, where you pass where I say, okay, this goes from here to project management, blah, blah, blah. But I say that to say, yes, they'll be trained kind of in the sales. And the last time we had a customer service rock star join us, we have basically what I do is, in my thought process, is I want them, if I'm not here to ask questions, I want them to have all of the resources at their disposal to be able to answer those questions. So if someone wants to pay a bill, if someone wants to, look up the status of the project, that sort of thing, I want them to have that. So I'm really big on screenshots. So I'll say, hey, so in the kind of, if you're looking at like a specific process for sales, I would say, hey, here's how I would get to all of the sales literature. Here's how I'd get to all of, the vendor requirements, that sort of thing. And then I would also go through we use the quote tool, the My Salesman quote tool. So I would go through that as kind of the customer to say, hey, here's the first step. You pull it up on our website. Here's the address. A couple tips and tricks on if it doesn't pull up on My Salesman, kind of where else to find it, that sort of thing. But yeah, and I have actually Jake. So if you'll email me, my email is sarah@ozfence.com, and I can actually
SARAH.
Yes, with an H. Yes. I can go ahead and I'll send you kind of what I put, like the big process. I put it into like a diagram to explain the start to finish process of the sales process. So I can send you that and kind of see what it looks like. But yeah, I try to do frequently asked questions, all of that. That way, more or less, if they want to take it home and look at it, they can. But if for some reason no one is available, I want them to be able to answer any question that they might have within that process. But yes, without going on for 30 minutes, we do. But as Joseph, it's always evolving too. As we grow, the process will evolve, that sort of thing. We use a different CRM now. So some of the screenshots might not be completely accurate, but we try to update it as we go. But,
so one tip I'll give you, Jake. So have her shadow you for a while and see how you do it. But every time she has a question, document the answer.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
You know what I mean? Just that way, because if it gets asked once, it'll probably get asked twice. So document the question and document the answer. We use a service called Trello, Trello. It's an online service. I think there's a free version.
There's a free version.
I think we upgraded the paid so you can do hyperlinks and other stuff, but you can do a free version. And basically what it is, how would you describe Trello?
It's a lot like Microsoft Teams, from what I understand. It's also, you have like your specific boards. So Trello, there's another one that's like it, but I can't remember what it is. But you basically have, it helps you like sync like for me, I use it for my sales process. But it's really just a good resource to be able to like organize all of your information into different categories. Yeah,
we used it first and foremost. Actually, we were introduced to it from Pink Collars, the call center we used to actually that Steph's a part of.
Yeah.
They introduced us to Trello, and so basically it's a one-stop repository for all of your data, right? If you can type it out, you can store it there, and it's a great spot for frequently asked questions can be its own board, and each item on that board can be a different question.
Yep.
What's our lead time? What is the process? Do you require a deposit? What's the process to accept a whatever the questions are, as they ask you questions, Jake, document that. And that can be part of their position is,
right.
They are to, they could create the subject, their version of asking the question is they create a new subject. And it is, what is our process for accepting deposits? Okay, great question. So then your role is to go in and answer that question. And now, by default, now you have that documented for eternity. Yep. And you can edit, right? So, do we accept credit cards? Sometimes, we accept all credit cards. Some contractors don't accept American Express or some, whatever the process is, you can document it, but you can also edit it. So if you do start accepting American Express, you could edit it to include American Express in this one example. But you can keep that, and that could be something that is their responsibility is keeping that active too.
Right.
Review the answer, and then if 6 months down the line, if they said, "Hey, Jake, actually we do things a little bit differently. Like we've worked out this process. Remember, now we do it like this, this, and this. Would it be all right if I changed it, updated it?" Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Trello, Trello,
yes,
would be my recommendation on that.
The other thing I would say, I wish I would have done sooner, it's something I'm just kind of now getting into, would be to look at or have both of you research. I think it'd be really good for both of you, but to research like the disc profiles. I think that's really helpful to understand that it's been really hard for me to get out of my head, that not everyone buys how I buy, right?
Sure.
So not everyone wants the same information, like that sort of thing. And typically, now I found, within 2 or 3 minutes on the phone with someone, I can tell pretty much where they land on that, what information is important to them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been the big thing. And I always ask open-ended questions to the customers. So I'll be like, tell me what's going on back there. How are you hoping we can help you? And then that opens just a floodgate normally of, and they'll tell you a lot about their project and what's important to them. So first and foremost, they'll tell you what it's for, right? I have dogs that keep getting out. Okay, that's great. What kind of dogs do you have? Sort of things. Do you know? In your mind, you're asking, is it small? Is it big? So I can make these notes. But it's also showing them that you care. And so that's huge. But I say that to say, because you're also going to get some customers, socially, I'm a very high I, so I'm very outgoing and I'm very, but I don't buy that way. So I'm very much high D when I buy. I'm like, no, I don't give me the labor. I just want the baby. Tell me what's going on. I don't want to. So I think it's important to understand what's important to them and to help your process kind of adhere to those buying personalities. So I think that's helpful, and I think that's something that not a lot of companies do.
Yeah. I think you could break it down when talking about DISC. I think you could break it down into, and correct me if I'm wrong, emotional versus data centric. So either tell me how it's going to make me feel, or tell me why it's going to make me feel that way. You're telling me it's going to make me happy. I'm going to be so excited. No. I want to know what size post. I want to know what diameter, what thickness. I want to know about the warranty. I want the data.
Right.
But then another person could be like, I'm not the fence guy. Don't tell me the data. You know the data. I want to know that it's going to get done. It's going to get done right. And then there's another person like this, the emotional buyer, that I have this big problem. I am very concerned with it, and I need help fixing it. Can you just please tell me that you're going to make it okay?
Right.
And that is absolutely oversimplifying it, but I think those are probably the 3 areas.
Yeah, when you dive into it, you'll see that it's just, you're right though. A lot of people are very David. You'll have people that just don't have time. They don't want the fluff. They don't, that sort of thing. But I think it'd be really helpful just to I didn't realize how each one of my customers kind of fit into that, where I'm like, okay, you may have a conflict where you're like, okay, now I know how I could have handled that better, or I could have made their experience better by knowing that we don't all think alike, that sort of thing. So it'd be really neat to look at. And it's been interesting to me on just the sales side. And I haven't even read any books related to sales on it. It's just kind of, just learning about the different personalities and that sort of thing. And I think that's, as humans, it's kind of hard for us to wrap our heads around, not everyone thinks like we do. So it's kind of nice.
So Sarah, where did you go to find your disc profile?
There's a lot of them online. They're just like free quizzes that you can do, but there's also a lot of books. So I've been getting into like reading the books because they explain a lot more behind like the psychological part of it. So kind of like the way your brain's wired, that sort of thing. But yeah, there's just a plethora of information online. I would be cautious on kind of what the qualifications are of like those websites, that kind of stuff. If it's something, if it's a brand that you recognize and it's been known for that, that's fine. Yeah. Probably wouldn't look at kind of blogs, that sort of thing. Yeah. Because a lot of it's just interpretation. Each person's interpretation of it. Dave Ramsey has a really good one. That's
exactly what I was going to say.
Yep.
Yeah, and I believe it's free, isn't it? He's got a free profile tool or something.
Yeah, he has a free
one.
It's
very basic, but
an expanded one. Yeah. But there's also all kinds of different things too that they've kind of piggybacked on.
Yep.
So there may be better ones out there. I just know that that's a tried and true one that I would recommend.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you. Very welcome.
Of course.
C2P2 or PT2N.
YouTube. Woo!
Okay. How do you guys feel about walls? We don't build walls.
No, I don't.
Build fences.
I feel okay about walls.
I'm
neutral
to walls.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like overly enthusiastic about them.
Yeah.
But I don't feel negative towards them
either. As long as there's a door in them, I'm good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't want to put walls. Probably.
Yeah. No one wants a walled garden. No. So if you were to ask us, our official stance is we are neutral on walls.
Neutral on walls. Yeah.
Nathan says there are 4 different tropes that help determine someone's buying process. Always simplify everything. Keep it simple.
Yep.
Keep it simple, silly. We don't call names here, Nathan. No one is calling anyone a name. Wait, is silly a name?
No, silly is an adjective.
It is an adjective. It is an adjective.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, silly, Nathan. But no, that's it. That's exactly right. I think a lot of times, and I'm guilty of this, I think a lot of times we make things more difficult than they need to be too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But here's the problem though. Sometimes you need to dive into a problem to understand it, to understand the best solution. So if you're simply to look at the overall, I don't know. You kind of need to it needs to be on a situational basis.
Yeah. And you need like
case by case basis.
I'll have like a written thing where I'm like, I know that I need to hit each one of these to understand the full scope of the project. So I think that's helpful too, just to know if they do have dogs, that sort of thing. But no, you don't want to word vomit. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
You know, when you're just droning on and on and on about why you're the best and that sort of thing, when like you're not really understanding what the customer needs. At the end of the day, no one wants to hear that. You know, so absolutely keep it as simple as you can with getting all the information that you need to be able to meet their needs.
Well, and again, it goes into the disc profile too. Some people want all the information.
Yes.
Some of them would love to see a data sheet for each item that you're providing.
Yeah.
They want to see the shop drawings on everything, and they want that's some people's personality. Yeah. So if someone has that personality and you're like, listen, I'm just going to keep this simple. Here's how much we're going to do the project for. We're going to get it done correctly. We're going to get it on time. How's that sound? You're going to be like, I do not have nearly enough information to make this decision. Yeah. But overall, Nathan, I agree.
Yeah.
Don't overthink the process.
75% of the customers want you to keep it simple. They want to know that they don't have to worry about it anymore, that their dogs or kids or neighbors, whatever, what have you, are safe and it's an easy process. Like, that's a lot of people are relieved that like, okay, I just hand this over to you and you take care of the rest. Yep. You take care of the HOA and I'll handle everything else. But I agree. I think a lot of people want it to be simple, but every once in a while you do get that person that
just needs more information.
Yep.
And Nathan is now an English teacher. Silly is a name in that context. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it with you, Nathan. Okay, maybe silly is a name, but it's not a harmful name. Using the other S word that you used, I'll just put it up here real quick. I'm not going to say it because it's mean. It's mean. Okay. Anyway. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. We're a little bit over time, but that's okay because it's spending time with you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you for hanging out and hanging on.
That's right. I know. Golly, guys, I'm so proud of this.
Oh.
You guys have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Let us know. Send them to us.
Yeah.
So, Jake, send your questions on training your new sales lady. send them over to Sarah. She'd
Yep.
be happy to help you out.
Absolutely.
Just know that the email might take a little while to get replied to until we find a project coordinator, because there's lots of emails.
Sure,
Lots of emails.
Yep.
You can always send me an email, joe@ozfence.com.
Yep.
Or you can, if you guys are watching this on replay and you have more questions, you can leave them in the comments below.
Yep.
We get notified every time there's a comment.
That's true.
And we do our best to reply in a timely manner.
Absolutely.
But for now, I'm Joe. Wait, just a second. Stop.
Oh, thank you, Brent. You too.
Have a beautiful weekend, you beautiful person.
I like it.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
Hope you have a great weekend. We will see you guys in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Next 2 weeks, off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could just watch this replay.
Just start stockpiling questions.
Like, this sounds a lot like last week, because it is. But that's okay. That's okay. You can rewatch it. Every time I rewatch a movie, I find something new.
Yeah, that's true.
I've watched Jurassic Park a lot because Jackson loves dinosaurs, and I do too.
Yeah.
So, guys, for now, I'm Joe Everest.
I'm Sarah.
This was Yippee Guy Yay! That's Fin Scout Friday.
Indeed.
We'll see you guys in 3 weeks.
Bye, guys.